Hi everyone, and welcome. This reading is going to be an interactive 1, 2, 3 you choose reading. Now it is in place of the astrological forecast readings for April. I find that I'm in a position where I don't have the time to sit down and do the 12 individual readings for you. And I know that there are so many of you who really look forward to them, and I appreciate that. So I just want to say thank you for having the patience. But I thought this would be a great alternative and hopefully a very satisfying different option for you to become involved in and to give you insight as you move through the energies of April. April is still a powerful month in terms of energies coming in, both through the astrological lineup of planets, but even through a deeper cosmic connection and possibly even through our own human collective energy source. So I think a lot of people are feeling introspective, maybe could be a good word, or ready for change, and perhaps that change is the readiness for change is coming about due to the fact that we have moved into being just over a year into the whole conundrum of the virus saga, and that year has given us the time to think about agendas around ourselves, what we are looking for, what we want, how things may have changed in the last year in ways that we would least have expected at the personal level and even at the global and interconnected level. So much has happened since November of 2019, because in real terms that's when we were told about the emergence of this natural, supposed virus that was taking shape globally around the world. And from that timeline of November in 2019, there has almost been a complete juxtaposition of change, like a portal that's opened or propelled us into a different direction or a different state of awareness or a different energy that is around us. Now, a lot of that is to do with our ability as humans to develop, to grow, to become more aware, to accept change, and to be able to interconnect with the dynamics of the cosmos, allowing these type of interactions to create this new portal or new dimension. If you followed any of my predictive videos that I have done over the years for each year, I think I started them in 2010 or 9, and towards the end of 2018, when I was making the predictions then, I started to notice that things were becoming less clear. They were more murky, as if there were more options or more tentacles involved in the variables of the future. And 2021 seemed even more so. Perhaps 2020 and 2021, it has become difficult for people who look into the future to pinpoint exactly which way we're going, because our energies and our knowledge and our expansion and our connective awareness help to create the direction forward and the paths we take. And such is the timeline that we're on now, that there is so much open to us and so much change coming in, both through our own making and awareness, but also through the collective cosmic structures that are coming into the planet. It's almost as if we're being juggled like juggling balls, and that we're not necessarily in control, but we have an ability to land in a position that could be flipped and changed just as quickly. So myself, time-wise, I seem to be coming and going with the availability of time in my daily life, and it feels as if the clock no longer makes much sense. I try to arrange time in a timely fashion, but things get taken out of my hand very, very quickly, and there are readjustments that take place. So I find it an interesting juxtaposition to sit back and watch and ponder, what exactly is going on, where are we headed, what is opening up, what portals of energy are coming in. And I think that if you allow this to happen for yourselves as well, you might find expansion, or you might find insight, or you might find answers coming to you that, again, you least expect. So with that in mind, I'd like to move into selecting some of these cards for the different choices that we're going to be looking at. We'll just do a numbering system, and you get to choose whether you want number 1, number 2, or number 3, and whatever comes out of those messages should have a reverence and a reference for you for the month of April, and possibly even taking you further into the year. In fact, I often find that when I do these interactive readings, you can come and listen to them whenever you like, and they may still be very relevant at different months of the year as well. So I think I'm going to start for number 1 with this deck here, the Morgan Greer deck. So I will move these ones aside, but it may not be the only ones we use. This is free flowing. There's no format or structure to any of this. It is just coming completely from the ethers. So the first card out for you is the 2 of Wands. This can sometimes be about partnerships. The number 2 is often about partnerships, but sometimes creative, because this is the Wands card, and this can be in relation to careers or ideas or concepts or your creative passions in life. It can also be about bringing balance into the situation and making sure that you see all that is on offer, because sometimes we close our mind's eye, or we close our thinking down, and we don't see all of the realm of perspectives that might be playing a role in a consideration that you're wanting to make. So let's say you have an idea that's coming to you, and it could be an idea in related to a job, or like a design of something, or writing something, or bringing something together, or even something about a relationship. And this idea that you've got, you're exploring, or you're trying to bring into construct, but there might be a part of it that you're not open to yet, or you're not fully seeing. If you look at this card, there is another hand coming in, and it's not this person's hand, because one is on the crystal ball gazing, kind of like wanting to know an answer. This is his left hand holding the idea of creativity and the wand of intention, and this is another person completely coming in, offering a concept that is very closely aligned to this wand that he is holding and to the crystal ball. So there may be other people that can give you a reference, backup, support, knowledge, understanding, a partnership that could be formed. So this card can be very much about listening, opening up. So not just your ideas are at play here, but other people may be supportive or cooperational, or wanting to form an alliance or an allegiance or a partnership with you in some area. We have another Wands card out. This is a great one. This is the Success card, the Victory card. And again, this is also referring to other people, because these 5 wands behind here reference quite often other people's input into your life. If you have tapped onto this, this is number 1, of course. Your question could be about relationships, or it could be about creativity or careers. It feels to me that collaborating with other people and working with others would really benefit you, that there is victory on the horizon. This victory could be moral, it could be practical, it could be exams that you have been sitting, it could be the potentiality of success in a job application, it could be the success of exams that you have sat and the results are coming, and that technically you would pass and succeed. Sometimes if we want to go a little bit deeper into this card, the success could be a personal venture of your own emergence of the self. Because we see the white horse here, and the spirituality of the white horse, you know, like the expansion of light and the connection to all that is in the greater cosmos. And there's this victory behind it with the rider on the horse's back. So there's this possibility that you are experiencing a sense of victory around your own finding or source of growth or nurture or understanding or awakening or awareness as well. You know, all of the tarot cards from any deck, whether they're tarot or oracles, can all be interpreted in so many different ways. And sometimes that makes it hard when you're doing a reading for someone, in terms of if the person who has asked for the request gives a very, very broad request, like, oh, will I find love, or will my job be safe? Depending on how you interpret the cards can mean so many different things and such a vast array of conceptualization. But for me, I'm picking up that there is a personal energy behind this for a lot of you, and it might roll over into the creative sector or a job sector, but there feels as though there's something that you may have achieved or got through. It might even be like it could have been a battle, or it could have been something that you were really weighing up and you were fighting against. Is it this or is it that? Or do I do it this way or that? Or is this going to happen to me or that? And it might have even been like frightening almost, or a feeling of loss of power that could have been involved with this. But the power is coming back, or the power is there for you to regain or re-establish. Oh my goodness gracious. Whoa. Exactly. You know, before I turned the card over, I'd already got this feeling of the power is coming and it's there for you. And the Ace of Rods, or the Ace of Wands, is now showing you that this achievement is possible. So those three cards, these two in particular, are very, very powerful inner cards of deep achievement, of deep success, of personal growth, of rising to the occasion, of feeling the success, of acknowledging where you have come and the journey you've been on, and also conceptualization of ideas. These two very much go hand in hand, like new thoughts, propagating the seeds of growth along the lines for you. There's potentiality here within these three cards that holds great promise, great excitement, great beginnings, newness. I mean, if I had picked this number one, I would be very excited at seeing these three cards turn up. If you're in the position where you aren't feeling these cards, or you're finding lack, or you've felt despondent, or you've felt closed in or unbalanced, then shift that energy over and allow yourself to awaken up and emerge out and grow out into these ethers here. And this is where the ideas come from the cosmic energy. When your vibrational field is fully open and allowing for the magnetism of your higher self, of your cosmic helpers, of your connection to celestial beings, or just the morphogenic energy field, when you are open to that, you will find the ideas flow, and that manifestation can be real and it can happen for you. But when you doubt it, whether it's self-doubt or it's group doubt or it's global doubt, of which there has been a lot, then you bring that doubt down and you close off this freedom, this floating, this ability to connect to the ideas and cohesively form them into a reality. So allow this energy of these three cards to really embellish what can be there for you if you're open to it. And certainly some of you may already have been putting these plans in place. You may be feeling things taking place. You may already be making moves along these ways with creative ideas or thoughts or constructs or designs. You know, some of these could be very fluid, like writing or artistry or music, or something that you're creating that is taking shape but changes constantly. It could be exams, it could be job offers or promotions or success in those lines. It could be personal relationships that are also finding a freedom or a balance that's coming into them, like a balanced energy. So really beautiful cards there for you guys. I mean, we could keep going with that deck, but I'd like to bring in this one, which is sitting here. These are the Keepers of the Light. I love this deck by Kyle Gray, and I find it very supportive and cosmic. Obviously it's very cosmic because that's what they are, but there's some deep messages and meanings behind them, and I find that if you focus on the card at hand and utilize the colors that come in through the cards, sometimes the crystals that show themselves up. For instance, this one here is an amethyst that she has on her forehead. Also the heart energy with the flowers, also so flowers, the violet ray, the violet color, awakening of the third eye. If you dig into the energy of these cards, there's a lot of awakening or cleansing or clearing or activation that can occur even just from the viewpoint of looking at them. So Lady Portia is divine order, and it says, do what you feel is right, an important lesson is unfolding. Divine order in many ways could be associated with the such of the Ace of Rods because it's coming from a divine field of energy. So Lady Portia is talking about if a lesson is unfolding for you. Some of you, as I said earlier, may have been through a transitional time of upheaval or lack of tethering or lack of grounding or lack of feeling stabilized. You may have gone through personal changes, some of which could have been relationship changes that may have brought about this defense in the heart. So like not necessarily a closing off, but a heart weariness, as if you are wary of letting others in, or you're wary in case there's more pain coming in or there's more trauma to face. So we tend to close down. We can close down our natural vision, which is the third eye or the crown chakra or the gut instinct even. And so when we do that, we don't receive the lessons. We're unable to learn. So by reopening, by re-expanding, by balancing and allowing success in at very many different levels, you will feel the divine order coming in to, I was going to say resuscitate, but I don't think I need to say that, but you will feel the divine order coming in to rebalance whatever it was where divine order was missing in your life. So focus on Lady Portia. You can use her as a mesmerizing charm for the month or any month whenever you choose to listen to this video. You can utilize the colors, the purple ray, the third eye energy, the amethyst crystal, and even the pansies. I think they're pansies that she has around her neck, shoulders and heart area. So some of you may have also had issues in and around that part of the body as well. What is here for number 1 from the Keepers of the Light? There's a few too many in here, so we will just shuffle and take this one. Melchizedek, higher learning. And again, you know, we can refer to the Ace of Rods very much like this. When you are balanced and receiving the higher learning, the higher self, the higher awareness, the cosmic energy, the creativity is open, the ideas flow. You are enriched with the capacity to see beyond a boundary, to see beyond the 4 walls. Any lack of previous vision is disassociated and it drops off, and vision is expanded and becomes expansive, and ideas swell in and divine order takes place. So a beautiful conjunction here, a beautiful grouping of the energies that are tying one to the other. It says you have learned from experience. More inner study is now required to further progress. So maintaining growth, awareness, moving on, understanding, supporting others and supporting yourself does always take further learning. While we're alive in this earth plane, we never stop learning. Never. It's only when we're gone from here, that we cease to learn about the earth plane experiences anymore. I mean, the soul goes on and it continues to grow and evolve. But this is learning as well. This is the expansive awareness of the awakening of the universe and the knowledge that you can claim as yours and bring into manifest. One last deck to use is a numerology deck. Even though I actually really love the concept of finishing on those cards, I think they're very powerful. I do just want to bring a little bit of numerology in for you. You can play around with whatever number comes in and the meaning it might have behind it. This deck is by Michelle Buchanan. 61, self-love. Wow. Very nice. I said that the number you've chosen, number 1, seemed to be involving other people in your energy field and your awareness for this reading. But clearly the self must come into the picture as well. So if you haven't been giving yourself enough self-love, you need to awaken to that. And you need to put yourself first in circumstances and situations. And by doing that and taking the time to love the self and to energize the self, nourish it, both at the physical and the spiritual levels, then you become able and available for others in your life, and it is easier for you to support and be aware and accept their input and knowledge as well. So it adds up to a 7. It's a very introspective number, number 7, and it is very much about our own journey of life and the thinkings behind it and what we wish to learn and the knowledge we want to pass forward as well. So again, this is idealizing, this is conceptualism, this is thinking in the mind, and this card in particular is talking about self-love. So I also see the orange color there, and orange is very much about the sacral chakra, and that is the inner part of our being or our body. It's a very personal inside part of our bodies. It's the area of creativity and life-forming creativity, such as pregnancies and childbirth. And those first 3 cards, all being the wands, is also about creativity. So there's a deep nest of emerging energy of thoughtfulness, of passion, of desire, of concepts, of construct, of manifestation, of creativity within this reading. And I think that if you awaken to the power of learning and being aware of advising the self and keeping the self flowing and in good stead, then you will find perpetual movement on in a positive way. So thank you for choosing number 1. And remember, you can choose all 3 readings if you so feel inclined. So have a wonderful April ahead. We are busy astrologically, planetary-wise, but I have a feeling the whole year is anyhow. The whole decade is. We're moving through really interesting times of great change for all of us, and we can't hide from it. So we may as well ride the wave and see what it's like, because I think it could be enriching and awe-inspiring in many ways. So thank you again, everyone. Namaste. Greetings. Hey, it's nice to be here with you. So if you've chosen number 2, this is your reading. But remember, you can choose any of the numbers. You can listen to the whole reading if you want to. And this will be valid for more than just April. Come back at any time and pick up the energies and the information that's being passed forward through these interactive readings that I'm doing for you guys. So let's start with this deck. This is the Energy Oracle deck. And let's see what's in store for you who have chosen number 2 for the month of April. We'll just get a feeling for what might be going on in the background and what we're looking at. That's a little puppy in the background barking. I think she hears the noises I make, and I think she might think there's a someone in the house who shouldn't be there. That's a motorbike in the background even further away. This is for number 2. Action seems to be happening, and we have 2 cards. Contract and patience, a number 6 and a number 16. So 6s are coming into play here, and 6s are often about family and relationships as well. There's a third card that's jumped out, 43, 7. So 2 7s and 2 6s in many ways. The contract card, I have quite a deep technical feeling behind it. So I will kind of explain to you, and I also see the clock and think of timing here, and it seems to make sense with how I feel about the contract card. So the contract can mean several different things, and most readers would interpret it to be a literal contract that might come up in your life, such as the possibility of signing for a new house, or purchasing a car, or signing up for a job offer, or a new flat that you're signing into. The things that need a physical contract signed, possibly even a legal piece of paper like a business that's being formed, or a will that's being drawn up, or a partnership, that type of thing. So this could be coming up for you. And I also see the books underneath, which often refer to like legal books, they look like. So some of you might be going through a legal process that is taking a contractual form. It actually sounds like someone's in the house, but I don't think there is anyone else here other than me and the pets. It talks about the balance of scales, and again that is often referred to in a legal perspective, but we can also look at those scales she's holding up as being the scales of time, or the scales of life, or justice. She's blindfolded and she's weighing things up without the actual vision of being able to see it, and the scales are being held very evenly. So the contract can mean that you might be getting something coming that you don't see, that you aren't aware of, that you hadn't anticipated, that hits you from the blind side. This doesn't mean it's a negative, but it means that it might take some getting used to. It could be the change of a job offer. It might be the change of something to do with your personal life, with wills, with houses, or where you live, or decrees or documents. It might be something that comes up unexpectedly, and that's why we see this clock here again. Now, to go deeper than that, and when I take the man holding a coin, somehow this could affect your finances. So this could be in relation to jobs or business opportunities, or contracts that deal with money, such as a will or a legacy or something along those lines. But again, we've got patience in the middle holding the dominating position. If we come back to this contract card, in my mind, the contract goes very deep, and it talks about soul contracts. So this can be a karmic issue that you're dealing with here. Now, we're in the middle of a very deep karmic evolution, and I think it started back in 2019, and it's traversing its way through now. So karma is a very long span timeline. It requires patience. It goes for a lifetime, if not many soul times or lifetimes. Now, Gaia herself is going through a karmic energy, as are we, due to some of the planetary alignments that are occurring, in part to do with Saturn's alignments that are taking place. So we're seeing many karmic rearrangements on the planet that affect us interpersonally as a species, so that globally, and that affects countries and politics and decisions and changes of attitudes and opinions within society, which affects us at the interpersonal and the private level, because things get changed around. So that's part of what this whole reading could be meaning. It could be like a very generalized energy that's coming in through the collective conscious field that you're part of in choosing number 2. Something in your life might be changing at a level that is being affected globally. And this global karmic change is a slow moving tsunami type energy. It's going to take a long time for it to go the full circle. A little bit like the Wheel of Fortune in the tarot card. So patience is involved because it's all about waiting for it to fully evolve and turn into the final destination or the final emergence of what it will turn out to be. And on its transitional journey, it will change and take shape in many different ways. So you might start at A, get to B, go back to A, end up at Q, weirdly, come back to B, and end up finally at Z. There is no necessary 1 + 1 + 1 is 3. It doesn't work in a perfect sequence because time evolves in its own manner. And that's where the patience is coming in as well. So if there's something you've been waiting on, and if it is a karmic debt or a karmic proposition or relationship that you're working through, then you can only, oh, that's my darling, then you can only receive it in its due course and when timing is right. The contract that might be at hand will be different for all of you. This is a general reading. For some of you, it might be job related. For others of you, this could be a very deep personal contract that is still tied to your finances. So it could be a personal relationship, such as a marriage or a long-time partnership. And somehow this is evolving and changing, and it's not finished yet. The course isn't over. So when we're going through karmic experiences, we need to learn the lesson. So until we learn the lesson, we also slow the time clock up. It's like it stalls, or it super speeds up if we've learned it really quick and if we understand the process and if we're ready to move on to the next level. So these 3 cards are telling quite a deep story, and as I say, depending on you, how you're taking it personally and how deeply you understand the resonance of the messages here, it will have an effect to help you nurture what it is you're going through, to understand the changes, to allow them to take the change of course in their own timing and destination or destiny. The man holding the coin could very well be another person involved in this scenario. Again, it could be a partner, it could be a life partner, it could be a sibling, it could be a parent, it could be a work boss. So this is so open but closed at the same time. It's like a paradox. I think we're floating through timelines of paradoxes that are being awakened, and we're going through them a bit like going through a maze with the blindfold on. You literally don't really know where it's going to take you or where to get out or where to end, but having patience is the key word in the very middle. So that's a really deep message. I think it goes even deeper. I think you should contemplate yourself personally, what the cards are telling you, what each individually is telling you. The man holding a coin can be about benevolence around finances. It can be about propositions for money. It can be about having finances come in, gifted to you, bequeathed to you. You may have something that you already own that becomes more valuable, a bigger asset, a job application or a pay increase. These are all, potential opportunities as well when we see the man holding the coin. Maybe there's a stalling of it happening. Maybe you wanted this to happen a long time ago, but it is on its way if the contract is dealt with correctly. Again, I think the timing or the patience one in the very middle is very prudent. It's about waiting and making sure that the ends are sewn up, that they're being dealt with, that you're looking in all of the avenues of opportunity to make it all cohesive and flow. So don't rush things. Don't rush into anything major. Check it out. Do due diligence. Listen to other people's perspectives and what they may have to say. Listen to your higher self. Go within, meditate. Find the answers at the greater level. And that might be another message of the patience. Don't rush a contract, especially if it's to do with money. That's the more simplistic avenue of it. So if we come back here to this deck, this is a numerology deck, and I think it's quite interesting to touch on numerology. We have done it really with these, with the 2 6s but the 2 7s at the same time. So 6s and 7s. They could be numbers that you could ponder on for the month of April, that you could work with. Ooh. Self-discipline, we've talked about that a little bit. And 37, another 7, time out and self-discipline. Do those cards go together? Do they reference something? Take some time out and be disciplined with yourself. I said just before, don't rush a decision, don't rush a contract. That requires self-discipline. And so does patience. It requires a lot of self-discipline. And this is even patience around what I want. You know, I want, now. Yes, a lot of us want things right now. More often than not, you can't have it. And there's a reason for that. So if we allow the reason to happen, and the self-discipline occurs naturally through that, then we find the greater emphasis on the need to have right now dissipates out. And then we feel the flow more. And oftentimes that need for that thing right then, it disappears. You didn't need it. It wasn't the right contract. Because we can be blindfolded and we can be blinded by something or someone, and that contract isn't actually what the soul needs or requires. And that's why sometimes we take the time out. Interesting, I've only just made this connection. I'm a bit slow, aren't I? Time out, patience. Time out. Like, I can't even put this one into words. This is a story of a greater perspective, of a greater timeline. And those 2 cards even there, there's the 7 there, there's a 7 there. It's saying something big to you about timing in your life and the need for this self-discipline around timing or events or contracts. Also look at the colours. We have the 3rd eye, which is trusting your instinct, so moving up to the crown chakra, the 3rd eye chakra. Also the gold, which is the gut instinct. So this is becoming more psychically connected and aware and listening to that silent voice, the background noise. The self-discipline is the orange chakra, which is the sacral, which is all about expression, creativity, ideas, concepts. And the green, of course, is the heart chakra, our passion, our love, our joie de vivre. You know, there's a whole connection here for you at the merging physical and spiritual aspects of what it is you want in life and how to get what you want in life. But there's no doubt that right now they're telling you, take the time out, slow things down, have some patience and some self-discipline, and then the contracts and the karma will sort themselves out. So a really powerful deep reading for you guys, and again I think you can go really deeply into this. I think when the dog barks like that, she barks at pivotal points of meanings as well. So I know it's irritating to hear a really noisy bark when we're concentrating, but that's to wake you up. Oh, and now we have a meow again. So we've got animal spirits around too that might be trying to get your attention, or also your own pets may be requiring attention as well. And with that in mind, I think I will stop your reading now and I will go and pay some attention to my beautiful pets. Thank you for joining me, everyone. Check out the other ones if you want to. Make sure you sub and like the channel, and leave your comments. I love to hear them. Much love, everyone. Namaste. Hey, welcome. This is your pick, number 3. Don't forget, you can also choose number 1 and 2, or listen to them, or listen to the whole reading as well. I thought we'd start your pick with this deck of cards that you see in front of you, and this is the Energy Oracle deck. It's quite a favourite with many readers. I find it quite interactive and quite lively in its messages it provides as well. I have a very busy household of young pets at the moment, a kitten and a puppy and the other pets in the house, and they have been in and out during this reading, but often they're wanting their attention. So for some of you, pets may be wanting attention, or pets might be on your mind, or a man holding a coin might be on your mind too. So he's out. He actually came out for one of the other readings as well. Now he is often about finances, jobs and careers. I don't think we'll use all of these cards, but perhaps what we will do is shuffle with these and pick some out for you. What else is in store here for reading number 3? Let's take the third from the top. Oh my gosh, this is really weird because these were the same cards from the previous reading. I'll take the next third from the top. Hostilities. Okay, so what I find at the moment in life is we're going through incredibly intense karmic transitions. Now, I have pets out there that are fighting because they're new to the house, and there's hostilities in the background going on right now. So when I mentioned before about pets might be on your mind, or they might be part of an energy that is occurring, this is a possibility. I just had to go and sort that hostility out. One of the older cats had the kitten backed into a corner. Now the contract card is in the middle between the man holding the coin and the hostilities over here. So there's a possibility for you guys that have picked number 3 that there is some tension in something around you. This could be family related, and it could have to do with finances or money. Now because it's karmic, this could have been boiling for a long time, or it could have been going on for a lifetime. But even more intense, it could have been going on for many lifetimes. And some of you may be in the position where you are waking to the reality that you understand a dynamic of a family structure that is probably tied into contracts that have been here for lifetime after lifetime. Now it may not just be family, it could be work colleagues, it could be friends, it could be something within your community. But I'm getting the feeling that some of you may have been through or are going through situations where hostilities seem to be around, and I'm getting the feeling that these are tied to karmic contracts. So we're in a timeline at the moment, in part due to Saturn's play, because Saturn is the major rule maker and dealer of karma, and because he's playing in this energy field so much, Earth herself, Gaia, is going through her own karmic shifts. Consequently, we see some of the changes on Earth and some of the trauma and, purging that is taking place. So we, as humans living on her in this physical timeline, are also, many of us, experiencing karmic purges. And when these purges come up, they can be very painful. They can reinstigate past life memories or experiences or feelings or agitations. So most karmic relationships have a degree, if not are, based on something that wasn't done right in the past lifetime. And it can be a mistreatment, an abuse, a trauma, a grief, a sadness, a loss that was experienced back then, that the learning wasn't deployed properly. And so we come back to experience it again in this timeline to cleanse it and to allow it to be freed and brought into lighter energy field where it's transmuted into a positive. So for some of you, this could be and I felt that these 3 readings I've done are very deep, but I knew it would be because April is a very deep month, as was March, as is the 2021, as is the 20s decade. We are moving through territory that requires an incredible amount of endurance, understanding, patience, knowledge, awareness, growth, awakening. We're not back in times where things were just more static or obvious or physical or 3D. We're moving so much through the parallel portals of energy fields that our expansion is catapulting like a falling star through the night sky. It's going at such pace, it's hard for us to keep up and to understand some of the changes we experience, which cause or can bring about hostilities. So we see on the planet many hostilities at all levels, all around, all countries, all different reasons, all the groups that are impassioned about being free, about being let out of penance, about not being judged or being aggrieved for some reason. There's so many different causes, and all of those are based on hostilities that have been directed at them. So how deep this goes for you, I don't know. You'll have to think about it, but the more you meditate on it and the more you connect with it, the more you will be able to help solve it and free yourself up from any karmic entrapment or enslavement or familiar issues or past life issues that are popping up. So meditating with it, trying to work to heal it or solve it as well. So dropping off the hostilities and figuring out how to move forward with a contract that you've come in here to resolve with. The other level, of course, that could be occurring is a physical contract, and it could be something legal that you're signing, such as to do with that you need to go to a lawyer. So it might be a will, it might be a legacy, it might be a bequeathment, it might be the purchase of a house, or signing up for a new flat, or buying a car, or a marriage, or a divorce. It could be any of these documents that you are signing in the way of a contract. And this contract might be bringing more balance into life, or it might be freeing something up that could have been hostile, or it could be creating a bit of hostility as well. The man holding the coin could insinuate that for some of you this is to do with finances or career or job or money as well. Perhaps there's an opportunity here to make some money or to free up an asset that has acquired more wealth behind it, or maybe someone loans you some money or some wealth, or there's also that, kind of more in the moment type of structure involved in the reading as well. So depending on whether yours is in the moment and the here and now, and it could be about a job or a finance or a loan or some money coming in, or a pay rise, or getting a job, signing a contract to move in as a new flatmate, or getting married for some of you. Whether it's in the here and now contract, or whether this is a deeper like tentacles into the past lives contract, only you will know where this is resonating with. But there's a lot here to listen to and to learn as well. So the next one I would like to look at is the numerology for a little bit to see what messages here. We have music, number 32. And we have compassion, 99. We'll do one more. That's a very interesting colour palette. Sometimes these cards and the colours and the Merkabas on them really jump out with a solid message. There's the other one, spiritual partnership. Whoa. Okay, so a spiritual partnership is a what? Often a karmic contract. Boom. So there's a 9, there's a 9, so you've got 2 6s and 3 9s happening here. So I think my energy that I picked up initially about the karmic contract or spiritual contract or partnership seems to be very strong, in as much that it's reharnessed itself through the numerology perspective of the cards. We've also got music. Music seems to stand out on its own as something different. For some of you, you may be able to make money off music. There might be a choice here for a career in or around music, whether it's working with music companies or whether it's writing it or making it or actually being the artist that creates music. Also, music could be a symphony to your soul. It could be something that really helps you through things, whether it's meditational music or whether it's inspirational music or just music that lightens things up or helps you to expand into the etheric realm. Music is the height of vibrational frequency, and we are all beings of frequency. So when you choose to listen to certain types of music, it has a harmony resonance on your energy field, and it can either create balance and harmony and increase the possibility of ideas and creativity, or it can create a shutdown of your system, because certain frequency fields are very good and positive for us and others are more negative, or they just slow us down or weight us down or create a heaviness. So depending on how you feel about music or how you interact it with your life, there could be a message here about embellishing the art of music to create a lightness of being, to open up, to allow in the form of a meditation or a healing process as well. The spiritual partnership can be a deep soul partner coming in. This could be the new contract that is being formed, and this could be the person who it is with. This may be a man who has money or a person who has money. It doesn't have to be a man. It could be that because of this new potential contract, a spiritual partnership such as a deep soulmate or a twin flame awareness, which raises the vibration of the Merkaba of the spiritual body and helps to take you to a heightened state of spiritual awakening and expansion, that it could be creating hostilities in other parts of your life or other areas. So it's interesting too that I put the compassion on the hostilities card. Oftentimes, instead of fighting hostilities with more anger and aggression, if we give it compassion and love and gentleness and calm, that overall higher frequencies that we can give to hostile people or situations, it eventually closes out the hostility and it is dissipated and it disappears, and we have a much higher vibrational force around us in compassion or love or generosity or calmness or forgiveness. So compassion could be very compelling for you if you are in a situation where hostilities are rearing their head, and instead of fighting back, giving the hostility compassion and grounded calmness, and not necessarily giving it the attention, you don't have to, but giving it rather the compassion to quell it, could be a way of resolving it, which may allow for the spiritual partnership essence to flourish more and to be more positive and balanced, and also the harmony of music, especially high vibrational energy music, that could also help all three of these portions of your soul or your physicality merge together in a harmony field. So I think one last card, it might be one, it might be more than one, that I would like to deal with are the Keepers of the Light, and we will see who comes out for this. So this is for number 3, just to finish off. I seem to have been doing that a lot. Let's just see who is here. I'll shuffle this again briefly, and then I will take the third one from the top, because you're number 3 and that's what we were doing before. No greater reason than that. Serapis Bay Ascension. Kind of what I was saying, when we let go of hostilities or we let go of karmic debt and we have released ourselves into the realm of freedom, we are on the ladder of ascension. So it says, move into your true self, rise above the darkness, the light is here. And that's the same thing that we had over here, rise above any hostilities. Deal with it with compassion or positivity and light, and it is soon closed out of your life, and your ascension and self-learning and light is guaranteed in life. So let's take the next third one down. Kali Ma, facing fear. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. So she's a very strong, fierce, independent energy that comes in and says, I will not be, subjected by another's hostilities. But she doesn't have to do it in anger and vengefulness, although she's known to be very aggressive. But by dealing with your own inner strength and your own light and adding compassion, we've got rid of the hostilities. And so your strength is ensured and made sure. Just one more. 1, 2, 3. Holy amethyst, divine alchemy. Move beyond current challenges. Focus on what you desire. So I do think that for some of you, you have been through a challenge. There have been some challenging people or circumstances around you. You have been given some very clear advice here on how to move above it and move out of it and put your own light and energy and journey of ascension and awareness and awakening into the forefront, and to not be afraid, have no fear, and do not let someone else's hostilities hold you down. There is no need. You see, if we look now at this pile, he is on the very bottom. He is almost completely submerged and gone from the situation, because we deal with him with compassion, love and light. And look at all this purple energy emanating from these two cards, quelling his anger. So holy amethyst, divine alchemy, move beyond current challenges and focus on what you desire. And this is through the third eye, the psychic awareness, the heart, the purple ray for the heart as well, using the utilization of the amethyst crystals. I'm sure most of you will have some amethyst in your home somewhere. Igniting the amethyst Merkaba in your presence and allowing compassion in at all levels. So again, a beautifully deep reading, very powerful, especially at these times that we are traversing through with so much going on at so many different levels. I'm really glad you've joined me, and I hope you have thoroughly enjoyed the readings. I've enjoyed doing them for you. With this particular one, I had some hostilities in the background, but now the energies have calmed right down, and I feel the divine energy of alchemy and compassion and the holy amethyst energy coming through. So I wish you all much love. Please keep subbing the channel. Leave your comments. It's wonderful to read them. And be safe and well, everyone. Much love. Namaste.